This is the Willis 1050 knee mill with an automated lubrication pump and the MillPwr G2 control installed. This mill has a 10 by 50 hardened and ground table surface with 34 inches of travel in X and 16 inches of travel in Y prior to any power feeds or DROs installed. It is equipped with 3 3/8 inch diameter precision ground quill with an R8 taper spindle, which give you about 5 inches of travel, all powered by a 3 horsepower spindle motor with RPM ranging from 60 to 4200. The ram will travel in and out, total of 24 inches, along with the head being able to tilt up and down 45 degrees and side to side 90 degrees, and will provide you with a spindle nose to table minimum and maximum of 0 to 18 inches. The meehanite casting paired with the hardened and ground waves with turkite make this mill a very durable machine. Installing the G2 control allows the operator to write conversational programs, load them from an offline CAD software, or simply use it as a DRO. You can save, upload programs, see your estimated runtime, parts count, and your toolpath each step as you are writing out the program. You have a feed override knob here, along with the ability to disable the Z-axis and manually operate the quill, which has a limit switch on the knob, basically letting you know that it's disengaged or engaged. These hot buttons here, up in yellow, are the same as hitting these buttons down here along the bottom. The conversational programs include rectangular pockets, you'll see it pops up, circular pockets, frames, along with ring and helix. You can program to do full, partial frame or array holes. You can also do just a positional move. Doing positional moves allow you to manually drill holes or to move it up and around any holdings you may be using. These last three here, the line, the arc, and the blend, are used when writing the programs. I'll show you that here. Now this is the part we're going to be programming. It's a simple little part with a few lines, an arc, and some blending, with some holes that will drill that will be perfectly spaced evenly apart. The first thing we're going to want to do is set our zeros. I like to set mine at the bottom left so all my movements are positive. Setting your zero on the G2 control couldn't be easier. Once we're at our points, we're going to just simply press the black buttons next to the axis here, and you'll see over here it brings up the datum. And once we hit these black buttons again, it turns them to 0. Once they're set at 0, we're just going to simply hit use, and you see now we just set our 0 points. So there's our quill down, tables in position, now we have our 0 set. Once we have our 0 set, we're going to go over to the program side by hitting the DRO program button, and you'll see that takes us over to our position and drill. That's the last button we hit. We're going to start by hitting the tool button and set our first tool. So on this tool page, the only information we really need to feed it is the diameter. So let's just say it's 0.375. The length, let's just call it 2 inches. The tool type, let's go down and say it's a flat end mill. We can also include the speed. All this does is pop up a banner when we go to start our program. That just tells you to put in the 0.375 diameter flat end mill and set your speed at 1000 prior to starting the program. Once we have that information input, we'll hit use, and now we're going to start writing our program. So this is our part again. We're going to start down here. So we're going to start with a line, and it's going to ask from where we're starting. I'm going to say 0 and 0, and then where we're going. You can see on this print it's 2 inches on the X, so I'm going to hit 2 on the X, and we're going to say 0 on the Y. We're going to begin 0.1 above the part. Let's go negative 0.5 for the bottom, and for the demo purpose we'll do 35. The offset we are going to do right because we are starting on this side and the tool will be on the right side of the path. For demo purposes, again, we'll put 35 for the feed. Now hit use, and you see it draws out each step as we're programming it. So from here, now we're going to do the arc. So we're going to go back up here, We're gonna hit arc, and we know that the X finish is still going to be 2, and we know from the radius here that the Y will also be 2. So it continues on from your last input. So we only have to finish the 2 in X and the 2 in Y, with the radius being 1, and then hit use. And now we have our arc. Now we're going to do another line down back to 0. So we're going to put 0 here, and automatically fill the rest in. We're going to hit use, and there we have our use. You notice on our print though, we have these 2 corners that are blended. So we'll start with the finish. We'll hit blend over here on our hot button. It automatically put in step 2 to 4. So that's the end to the beginning. We'll put a 2.5 radius and hit use, and you'll see it created our beginning here. It took that corner off and made it a nice round radius. So now we just need to do this little corner here. So we're going to go up between the line and the arc, and we're going to hit blend, and you'll see that it says between step 3 and 5. And we're going to add a 0.25 radius in that as well. And then when I hit use, you'll see it took that little sharp corner I had there and rounded it off. Now we're going to go down, hit tool. You see that our holes call for a 0.100 drill. So do 0.100. Let's do 2 inches. Tool type, we'll say drill, and we'll hit use. Now the way the G2 programs holes, anything that has to do with positioning these holes perfectly across, is this on the far right side is going to be 0, and then everything going left, so this will be 90, 180, 270, back to 0. So when we go to program, we're going to hit holes. We're going to do a bolt circle. Now the center of this we know is 2 on the X and 1 on the Y, and it automatically put that in because of the way we have our program wrote. So we're just going to go down and change the radius to 0.75 here. Direction, we'll go counterclockwise. We're going to program this hole at the bottom and go counterclockwise. So number of holes is 4, you can see. So we'll put 4. Now the starting angle, we're going to start down here, so that's going to be 270. Starting from 0, 90, 180, 270. So we'll put in 270. Now the end angle they automatically put in as 180. We're going to change that and put it as 90. That way we stop at this hole up here and it's evenly spaced apart. And we'll hit use, and now you see we have 4 evenly spaced apart holes that look just like this part. And that's it for the first program I do when I train. It just gives us an idea of lines, blending, arc, and then drilling some holes and spacing them out. Just a simple few other things that you can do is repeat, rotate, and mirror, along with engraving lines or arcs.